Snape versus Lockhart. The first real demonstration of Expelliarmus occurs in Chamber of Secrets during a dueling club organized by Professor Lockhart. Lockhart, brimming with arrogance, pairs himself with Professor Snape for the opening duel. The students expect a display of dazzling magic, yet they witness one of the simplest spells, Expelliarmus. Snape does not show off. He simply raises his wand and utters the incantation, sending Lockhart's wand flying. The force propels Lockhart across the room, landing him flat on his back. This moment illustrates that Expelliarmus is more than just a disarming spell. It acts almost like a concussive blast, capable of incapacitating opponents. J.K. Rowling establishes that this is not merely a student spell. It's swift, efficient, and decisive. Snape's use of Expelliarmus demonstrates that a wizard who understands timing can win a duel without resorting to dangerous magic. This marks the beginning of Expelliarmus evolving into something far more significant: Snape's defeat. In Prisoner of Azkaban, the spell Expelliarmus takes on an entirely new dimension during the tense confrontation in the Shrieking Shack. Harry, Ron, and Hermione find themselves face-to-face with Sirius Black, the man they believe betrayed Harry's parents. Just as the truth begins to unravel, Professor Snape bursts in, fueled by years of resentment and a burning desire to capture Sirius. Before he can act, the trio instinctively steps between him and Sirius, their loyalty to Harry overriding fear. Acting as one, they raise their wands and shout, "Expelliarmus!" The synchronized force of their spells collides in a flash of red light, striking Snape squarely in the chest. He's lifted off his feet, slammed against the wall, and knocked unconscious, his wand flying uselessly away. In this moment, Expelliarmus transcends its simple role as a disarming charm. Under the right circumstances, when powered by unity, emotion, and intent, it becomes a devastatingly effective offensive spell. The scene demonstrates how even a seemingly defensive incantation can wield immense power in the hands of determined young wizards, proving that strength in magic isn't just about aggression, but conviction and teamwork. Priori Incantatem. In Goblet of Fire, Expelliarmus reaches its most extraordinary and defining moment during the graveyard duel between Harry Potter and Lord Voldemort. Surrounded by Death Eaters and facing certain death, Harry stands his ground, his instincts guiding him more than training or logic ever could. As Voldemort snarls the words of the killing curse, Avada Kedavra, Harry reflexively shouts, "Expelliarmus!" clinging to the spell that has always embodied his defensive nature. What follows defies every known rule of magic. The two spells collide in midair, neither overpowering the other. Instead, golden threads of light twist together, forming a connection between Harry's wand and Voldemort's. The wands hum with ancient energy, and from this miraculous union emerges Priori Incantatem, a phenomenon so rare that even the greatest wizards have only spoken of it in theory. Ghostly echoes, shimmering remnants of Voldemort's past victims, begin to emerge from the Dark Lord's wand. Cedric Diggory, Bertha Jorkins, Frank Bryce, and finally, Harry's own parents. These spectral figures surround Harry, shielding him with their courage and giving him the strength to act. As they speak words of love and hope, Harry seizes the moment to break the connection and flee. In this encounter, Expelliarmus is no longer a simple disarming charm. It becomes a beacon of resistance and moral conviction. Against the darkest of evils, Harry's unwavering choice of defense over destruction proves that true power lies not in domination, but in the courage to stand firm, even when all seems lost. Voldemort's downfall. The most dramatic instance of Expelliarmus occurs in Deathly Hallows. Harry faces Voldemort, who casts Avada Kedavra with confidence. Instead of using a killing curse or stunning spell, Harry responds with Expelliarmus. The Elder Wand refuses to kill its true master, and Harry's spell causes Voldemort's curse to rebound, leading to his defeat. This moment ties together the various uses of Expelliarmus throughout the series. It serves not only as a defensive spell, but as the defining force that ultimately vanquishes Voldemort. In conclusion, Expelliarmus embodies the series' themes of resilience and the power of choice, highlighting how a simple charm can shape the fate of the wizarding world. The Wandless Wonders. Kicking off our list at the bottom are the Wandless Wonders. These are the individuals who prove that simply being born with magical blood doesn't guarantee a ticket to the top. First up, we have the Squibs. Take Argus Filch, for instance, trapped in a school filled with 11-year-olds who can levitate feathers while he's left to chase them around with a lantern like a ghost in a Victorian tale. His only ally? Mrs. Norris, the cat, with more talent than he possesses. And then there are the accidental magic disasters. Remember Harry Potter's childhood? He was a walking catastrophe. From vanishing glass at the zoo to blowing up Aunt Marge like a balloon. If you thought that was chaotic, wait until you hear about the frauds. Gilderoy Lockhart? Anyone? He's got a wand but lacks any real talent. When he attempts to perform a memory charm, he wipes his own memory instead. This tier is truly the magical world's lowest setting, where people either can't use magic, shouldn't use it, or are just pretending. Hogwarts hazards. Moving up, we encounter the Hogwarts hazards. These are students who can perform magic, but you almost wish they couldn't. Let's spotlight Neville Longbottom, who had a knack for raising his teachers' heart rates. Remember when he dangled from a broomstick, crashing to the ground like a sack of potatoes? Or Seamus Finnegan, whose specialty was blowing things up, literally. With mishaps like Ron Weasley's slug-vomiting potion and Crabbe and Goyle's fiery fiend fire fiasco, it's clear that while these students might have magic, they're chaotic and inconsistent at best. Hogwarts may teach magic, but it certainly doesn't teach common sense. The spell-slinging side characters at level 3, we meet the spell-slinging side characters, those who can handle themselves, but are generally just background noise. Think of the average ministry employee. They've passed their OWLS, but would likely run for cover when a Death Eater shows up. We can't forget the forgettable professors, like Professor Binns, who lectures his students to sleep, or Madam Hooch, who disappears after one flying lesson per book. These characters are like the non-player characters in a video game. Present, but not impactful. The decent, but disposable. At level 4, we finally meet the decent but disposable witches and wizards who can actually hold their own in a duel. They're skilled, competent, but nowhere near the headline act. Professors like Flitwick and Sprout fit here. They're great, but never in the spotlight when the big names appear. Even skilled fighters like Tonks or members of the Order of the Phoenix often find themselves sidelined when the heavy hitters like Dumbledore enter the scene. They are the backbone of the wizarding world, but when the stakes are high, they're often quietly shuffling to the side. Boss fight material. Now we're getting serious with level 5, where the real game changers reside. These witches and wizards can define a battle. Picture Professor McGonagall, stern and formidable. She can turn Hogwarts statues into an army. Or Kingsley Shacklebolt, who handles Death Eaters with effortless skill. Then there's Sirius Black, wild and unpredictable. He brings a chaotic energy to any duel. And let's not forget Bellatrix Lestrange, who turns dueling into a twisted performance. At this level, the stakes are high, and everyone else better duck for cover. The Rule Benders level 6 is where the magic gets wild. These are the Rule Benders who don't just use magic, they reinvent it. Severus Snape, for example, was known for creating spells that left others in awe. Alastor Moody pushed the boundaries with his unconventional teaching methods. And then we have Gellert Grindelwald, a revolutionary who reshaped the magical world. These wizards take centuries of tradition and throw it out the window, leaving us astonished by their creativity and power. The Untouchable. Finally, we arrive at level 7, the Untouchable. This is the summit of magical prowess. Voldemort, with his terrifying power, and Dumbledore, the embodiment of wisdom and skill, exist in this elite echelon. Their mere presence changes the dynamics of any story. Even legendary figures like Merlin belong here, with a legacy so vast that no one dares to compare themselves. These are the apex predators of the wizarding world, forces of nature who rewrite the rules of magic itself.